Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Urban Empire. I hope you're having a wonderful day because we need to talk about banning contraception. Yeah, that got heavy. So currently, I'm against banning it, as are most of the political parties. The Christian Democratic Party, obviously, are going to be for banning it. But I think the majority of the other parties are completely against it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I have goodwill left with any of them, which I do. The Social Democrats are still friendly with me, so I'm going to say that we are going to, support that a little heavier. And what I'm going to need to do over the next 6 years is basically get everyone to love me. What is this? It is hereby proposed that all citizens shall be allowed to vote in order to choose their own democratic representatives in government. I support this. I think that's a good idea, although I'm gonna... No. This is a problem. This is a problem that everyone's against this. It is a serious problem. I need to say that we're for this. This is probably not gonna go through. And to be honest, I am probably gonna have to let it just slide. I need to get my party support in the city up. I need to get the other political parties to support me. That's what I need to do. Now let's look at hydraulics. The recent inventions in machinery and power systems are spreading around the world like never before. The city administration understands how important the principles of hydraulics are. How should this be put to use? Teach it in schools, public services, or city administration should understand it better. I'm gonna say that have it used better in public services, which has added a bonus to health at sports grounds. Okay. That's fair enough. Yeah, so the next 6 years are gonna be very interesting. Like I said, I need to get every political party on my side. The ban for contraception is not going to go through by the looks of it. We are all opposing it, other than the Christian Democrats, but that's fine. There were quite a few people voted for it, interestingly. But no, that's fine. That's fine. We're going to go ahead and we are going to not ban that. We're going to look at the right to vote. And as much as I would like this to, go in my favor, I mean, there are parties in here that hate me. The Freedom Party, I have no goodwill. They are highly disciplined. Their current support of me, or is that their current support in general, is 8%, but their support of me is 9%. So not very much, basically. I need to get them to like me. And campaigning heavily against them is not going to be a way to do that. What's more is that everything I try and do is going to be put under the microscope by all of these different parties. And that's a problem as well. So what I'm going to do is go to Milton here for a second. I'm going to say I want to modify this district. I'm going to say that I'd like to go ahead and get a new service in here. We could go for a church, which would bring up the average social life a little bit. We could go for a grammar school, which would be interesting. But I'm thinking something like a public library, which, whilst expensive and we can't technically afford it, does bring a bonus to the average personal growth. Although it might not make much sense to have it in there. Let's just do a small park. Let's just get a small park into that area. Confirm, propose, quicken vote, and okay. So this really shouldn't be too hard to push through. Most people are going to support it. The right to vote is not going to go through, so I'm just not going to bother campaigning. My political standing with the other parties is already at -3 as opposed to -4. We'll begin counting the votes for this, which is good. It's gone through. That's going to bring our income down a little bit, but it is going to improve the environment just a little bit down here as well, which is what we want to happen. So that's not so bad. Let's see what else we've got going on here. So there is still a lot of bankruptcy in this area. The monthly budget balance is dropping. What is this about women as mayor? Even though the general sentiment in the city was such that electing you as the mayor was the most obvious, unifying, and forward-thinking choice, not everyone is happy. Your family has had trouble with the von Filsons before, and it seems you're no different. Simeon von Filson Jr. is holding a small rally in the streets where he calls for a strong leader for the entire country. We need to be lions, not pussies, he yells to a handful of people. I'm going to question his loyalty. Here's what I'm going to do. Wow! I lost my goodwill with the Freedom Party is at -8. Hold on a minute. Did that just knock my goodwill with them down to it's -10? That is as low as it can go. Wow. Damn, the Freedom Party and the von Filsons do not like me. Jeez. Okay. That is interesting. What is this about a free lunch? The Communist Party demands that Kilgannon provides free lunches to poor school children. It would greatly improve the health of the children and give them more incentive to go to school. Do I present this in the council? The thing is, we can't really afford this. We can't really afford free lunches. I do support this. It will give more money to the lower class and the youngest age groups, as well as adults with families. It does, however, add a cost of 1,500 extra on top of every grammar school. I think we only have one. We might have two, so it's not that much. It does give us a bonus to health, though. I think the problem is there's not that many lower class people in the city either, but I'm gonna support this. I feel like I have to support this. That's given me some goodwill with the communists as well, which is important. Now, if we have a look at the right to free school lunches, there are quite a few swing voters. Interestingly, the communists, they brought the idea to the table, but they're not fully in support of it. And again, there's not really much I can do. To be honest, the moderate party is the only one that I can probably get a little bit of goodwill from. So I'm going to say that most citizens agree with this, and then I need to not talk with the moderates for a while. That's brought my political standing down to -3 again. What will communication advances get us? The post office, movie theater, bookstore, typewriters. Yeah, let's start for that. Oh man, this is a tough one. This is definitely proving to be quite tough. My political standing's at -2 again. There has been a worldwide bust. The recession has gone global. Illegitimate children. The number of illegitimate children has risen notably in recent years, especially due to lower class women. This is most likely due to the improved social life of servants and other workers. You want to comment on this in my public speech? What do I say? I say that mothers of illegitimate children shall not be condemned, and that's brought a direct bonus to happiness of the lowest class. And the moderate party is not very happy with me. I don't particularly care, to be honest. The problem is that even the slightest little bit of disruption here brings their standing of me and their thoughts of me down. Let's have a look here. So the free school lunches looks like it's going to go through. The right to vote does not. And again, I don't think there's anything I can do about that. So we'll begin voting. This is going to bring me a little bit of goodwill. This is going to bring me a little bit of prestige as well, I think. I don't know if it actually does. Didn't seem to. But my standing is now 7% with the Freedom Party. Jesus. I'm not going to stand in their way. We are losing $15,000 per month currently. How many grammar schools do we have? That's a grammar school. Mayoral elections are closing in. Oh, Jesus, no. Oh, no. That's not good. Oh, that's not good. Okay. Call for a strong leader. With the world in recession and people hopelessly trying to cling into the jobs that they have, As the number of people living on the street is on the rise, Simon von Filson Jr. is attacking your leadership once again. Hard times require a strong leader who will put things in order. Cast aside this frivolous mayor of ours who supported the liberal ideas that caused our troubles. I'm going to warn against extremist leaders. And that's actually brought my goodwill with the... no! What's this right to vote thing? So the right to vote isn't going to go through. I could appeal. I have got goodwill with the Social Democrats. So I think I will. That didn't do anything, though. So let's just count the votes. It's not going to go through. There is nothing I can do about that. And I don't think I'm going to get re-elected either. I'm going to be honest. Oh, man. Okay, so that's fine. Right. So what can I do? The monthly budget is dire. My political standing is dire. The budget is coming up again, slowly, which is interesting. We have a little bit of demand here for two things. Let me pause briefly. Because I might be able to get a new district in here. I'm genuinely curious to see if I could perhaps get a new district in here before, you know, I get voted out or whatever. Like that's expensive, admittedly. Dense is no different. We could go for sparse. See what happens. Is that cheaper by any chance? No, sparse is no different. Let's go for a sparse grid on this one. Although that seems to that would cater more towards medium and high density. Let's just go for the default one. We'll confirm that. We're not going to do industry. We will do 20% business. So we'll have some mixed areas. We'll confirm. We'll confirm. I'm tempted to add in something like a fire station just to boost safety, or something like a theater to boost the fun in the area. But that seems awfully expensive. So confirm. And we're going to propose this. As dangerous as it is, and I'm going to use personal funds to do it. This is risky. The moderate party is one. Communication advances. What is this? Modern communications are transforming the world as we know it. All of the inventions of the last few decades, the one that most captures the population's imagination is the ability to capture real life in motion pictures. The city administration is pondering how this will affect city life. I think motion pictures can better educate people, which has added a bonus to personal growth. So we're not losing considerable cash. Oh, no! Oh, boy. Oh, this is going to be a fight, is what this is going to be. Resolve an event. Tax proposal. Raising industrial taxes would improve the difficult finance. This is true. Let's remarkably raise these taxes. We'll put the idea forward. That vote's going to go through at the same time as the mayoral election, though, which is of considerable concern to me, because I have no real way of winning this. Let's be honest. Let's demand that they vote yes. I can't threaten any of them, really. I could threaten the moderates. Might as well give it a shot. Let's demand that they oppose this and they oppose progress. Let's go to the communists and threaten them. And we'll see what happens. This might not go my way. I will go to the communists again, though, and plead and say that, hey, do you want to help me out here a little bit? They weren't impressed because I'm at -9 with them. Anti-land pollution legislation. Let's go for it. Let's get it in there. Oh, it's not like it's gonna be approved. Well, it might be, but it'll not be approved under my government. No way it's gonna be approved under my government. Oh, they are going to vote against me. They are going to vote so hard against me. Come on. Vote in my favor, damn it. I don't think there is any way that I can reasonably win this. The vote to modify taxes looks like it's going to be approved. Possibly. Possibly just. Yeah, there were 5 votes in it. Now the vote on the new mayor. I demand that they support me. I can do nothing for the communists. I demand that they support me. Come on. Give me your votes! Give me your votes! Come on! Oh, come on. Vote. Oh my god, I might have done this. There's a lot of voters that aren't certain. A lot of voters that aren't certain. I have a bit of goodwill, but I can't say anything to them because I've already pleaded with them. The Freedom Party are never going to support me. The Christian Democrats might. They might. This might go my way. This might go my way. Oh, I can't look. I can't look. I'm not looking. I did it. I'm at -5 political standing with them. But I did it. Oh my god. Oh, how do I get them to like me after that? Right, we raised taxes, guys. We raised industrial taxes. We are now making money. The population is increasing, I guess. Oh my god. I honestly don't know where I go from here. I really don't. Anti-pollution's probably going to go through. If we look at edicts, I mean, ban contraception, no. Quarantine all 3 act is maybe not necessary. Support for anesthetic pain relief seems like that could cause some problems. It does give a bonus of +2 health to a clinic, but it does cost us a fair bit of money. That's per hospital though, and we only have a couple of clinics. I'm going to propose this. No, I'm not, because that's never going to go through. And I need to propose things that are going to go through. A fire brigade could. It's going to cost me 20% more per fire station, but I think the bonus to safety could be nice. Could definitely be nice. Let's see. Lower class barriers is something I could probably get through, but I don't think that's a very good idea. It does provide a bonus to safety for everybody but the lowest class. Supporting asbestos insulation is gonna help companies sell more, but it is gonna hurt health. I don't think I want to use asbestos insulation. I feel like that's a bad idea. Support for poor families, I mean, that one would be nice. It would definitely be nice. And I could propose it, but I don't think that's going to go through. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to propose much over the next 6 years. Instead, my priority is going to be getting into the good books of the politicians and making sure that they are happy. Communications advances. Okay. Is that everything in Era 2? Yes, it is. Let's look at Era 3. So the electrical grid. It's like 1930, isn't it? It's like 1930 and we haven't got an electrical grid. Okay. We also haven't got public health. let's... I mean, the thing is, I can look into all this, I can research all of this, but I can't actually get any of it right now because I don't have the money to install an electrical grid or do anything really. What? I'm hearing a lot of noise. Me cat. Is that? Yeah. So my cat's moving. He's over there making some noise. All right, fair enough. I'll just let him do his thing. Right, back to the game. So yeah, I don't think electricity is necessary. Psychology, we can ban lobotomies, support psychiatrists, support psychologists. Public health gets us a swimming hole, waste bins, endorse physical education. Refrigeration is useful because department stores can provide more health and social life. Let's begin with refrigeration, maybe. I mean, I guess these things are useful if we actually have electricity, but we just don't. Let's just research it anyway. Let's go for that. A voluntary motherhood. Around the world, women's rights have been a topic of discussion. Particularly pressing is the issue of whether women have a say in when they want to get pregnant and when not. As the world changes, the city administration ponders which elements of motherhood they should in future focus on. So obviously we're not going to go with this one. I feel like children having the right to enjoy childhood is maybe a thing. Money that citizens can use on private companies for the lowest class goes down. I feel like giving children the right to enjoy childhood. I have no idea. Like, women should have more say in their lives. I agree with all three of these. I'm just gonna think of the children, I guess. This is gonna be a difficult one. Definitely gonna be a difficult one. But let's see. Oh no, banning child labor is generally agreed upon. Jesus, okay, that was unexpected. I'm not gonna have much of a say in that. I'm just gonna stay out of it for the time being until the votes are being cast. I am noticing there is less bankruptcy across the city, which is beautiful to see, actually. Very, very good to see. We are making some good cash. Restless people in Thornton. Residents of Thornton have nothing to do, especially the young are just hanging around the streets causing trouble. We need more recreational opportunities, I think. So that's gonna bonus fund to the whole district for Thornton. Bonus social life to the whole district for Thornton. There we go. So that's gonna add just a little bit of fun into Thornton, hopefully improving quality of life. I'm noticing that as people are happier, my monthly budget balance seems to be up there a bit. So I'm tempted, I think, possibly. What's this about a nightclub? There is a popular nightclub in Thornton that is frequented by both men and women. Some counselors are worried about the threat to morals as young women are drinking alcohol, smoking tobacco, and wearing makeup there. They say such pastimes are not suitable for women and want something done. Women can go to nightclubs if they wish to do so. That's more bonus fun to Thornton. Here's what I'm going to do, though. Thornton has a park, and Thornton has a clinic. I want to give Thornton a service, and it could be a post office. A post office would actually give some average social life. A church would do the same. But I feel like either a public library or a theater is what I want to add in here. And I'm sort of thinking theater, because that is going to give fun, and fun is our lowest thing. So I think another theater for the city is going to be what I do here. So let's get a theater for Thornton just in here somewhere. Somewhere that kind of makes sense, preferably. Probably there. Or there, if I can get it over there. Or that spot, actually. Yeah, right there. So a theater for Thornton. We will confirm. I will propose. I will put it to the quickened vote because the chances are this is going to go through. And we'll run the simulation and we will see what happens. So modifying this district is more than likely going to go through. A theater for Thornton seems like a pretty good idea, despite the budget falling currently. But the good news is my political standing is increasing. It's gone from -5 to -2. We will begin voting on the district modifications to add a theater to Thornton. And it has passed. Good. So that's going to hurt the budget considerably. But it has brought the city fun up a little bit. And the movie theater business is booming, which is nice as well. Obviously, we don't have that much money, but we'll not worry too much about it. Is this another... Women can go to nightclubs if they wish. That's the way I see it. I don't think it's really our place to say whether or not they can or can't. We are the government, not the morals police, as it were. Yeah, we're losing considerable cash. We'll not worry too much about that for the time being. Banning child labor might cause some problems, but we'll see. We shall figure it out. So, how are these bills going to go? Ban child labor. We are in support of that. Good. That's what I want to see. Who voted against that? Social Democrats, communists. There's not very many communists left. Then anti-pollution. Probably going to go our way? Yeah, that's going to go our way. Not bad. A fairly interesting divide there, but no big deal. Strict pollution laws have been put in place. People are generally seeming to be happier about this, which is good. People are also actually quite happy. City happiness is currently at 3. So we do probably want to bring parks up a little bit. Probably worth bringing safety up a little bit. Generally speaking, the social life of the city is pretty good as well. But yeah, generally speaking, people seem happy enough. Mayoral elections are closing in. I am at -2 with the parties. The era will change in 36 months as well. So, what can I do to improve my political standing? Now, I could add some institutions if we had the money. Obviously, they're very expensive to do so, but I think it would be nice to look into getting some of these at some point. These are city-wide bonuses as opposed to district bonuses. Let's go to the council and let's look at taxing. Because I think what I want to do is maybe tax businesses a little bit higher. You know, 1% tax increase on businesses, and then maybe a slight drop on citizen tax. You know, just a very slight drop. So we're still getting plus 7,000. That might work. That might be a way to, number one, give us more money, and number two, give the people more money. Alternatively, we tax the citizens slightly heavier at, you know, that, and we drop the business. Okay, we'd have to tax citizens at 17% and businesses at 19% to get that one through. Let's bring the citizen tax to maybe, I'm going to say 14%, and I'm going to say a 21% on that one. And I'm going to propose that. Probably going to be a fight. That's actually kind of dangerous, putting up a fight at this point of the game, especially with elections closing in, because I'm not in the good books of all the parties just yet. The Freedom Party especially. The Communists really don't like me. The Social Democrats do. I'm going to let them just sort of fight it out amongst themselves for a bit. Just to see what we can do here. What's this? Right. Poetry and performing arts are thriving in Kilgannon. There are art nights with incomprehensible songs, senseless poems, and improvisation. And the performers call themselves... right, what do I think? How inspiring, I guess. Sure. That's added a bonus to fun for males and a bonus to personal growth for students. Right. That's fine. I want to look at this taxes thing. So the taxes thing is actually going a little bit better at the moment. I reckon a little bit of a push towards there might help a little bit. I reckon a slight plead here might help a little bit. We'll see how that goes. Either way, it's about to go through. It looks like we could win this. Just. We'll see. 19 to 20. I don't think I have the right to really plead with anyone here, but let's see. This is a close one. I can't afford to burn too much of my political goodwill, so let's begin voting. I think they've won. Yeah. By 3 votes, they won. And if I use 30 political prestige, that's just not going to go well. So, we are not getting away with a tax increase, which is a problem, because we are losing money. But they have voted, and they don't want a tax increase, so there's nothing I can do about that. Nothing at all. And I'm not gonna piss them off, basically. I'm not gonna be like, hey, let's, you know, increase taxes even though you didn't vote. Okay, so interesting that the Freedom Party is gonna vote for me. Okay. That's unexpected. That's really unexpected that the Freedom Party would be interested in voting for me. Not by much, though. Admittedly. Right, I have goodwill with the Social Democrats. So let's promote equality here, guys. I have no goodwill with the Central Party, none with the moderates. Communists hate me. And the Christian Democrats hate me as well. Good. Let's try and... Oh, what can I do? What can I do? Look at service funding. I mean, realistically, we could provide more service funding to something like clinics. We could provide more service funding to... What does this do? It would employ more. It would have a better effect. A bonus of 8. But that's going to bring it up to 27,000 per month. What about the small parks that we're spending money on? So 22,000 for a bonus of +7 as opposed to +4. Let's propose the funding changes. Let's see if I can get that through. Probably not. Great. Okay. The Progressive Party. Are you the Progressives? Yeah, the Progressives don't like me. They really don't like me. Important edicts for them are no wealth requirements for voting. We didn't pass that, did we? Or did we? I don't think we did. No wealth requirements for voting. What one is that? Or did we get that? I honestly don't know. Let's see. I honestly don't know. Shops closed. Wait a minute. These are available. These are active. So safety, women's rights in elections, 10-hour workday. I don't think we did. I honestly don't know. I think this might end up being my last term though. The threat of war. Tension in Europe has risen dramatically over the past few months and years. First, the demilitarized Ruhr area was fortified. Then Austria joins Germany, and now there is the Sudeten crisis. The worry in your citizens' hearts is plain to see. So you've decided to address the issue to calm people down. We're like driftwood. We're pawns in a chess game, or the biggest threat comes from the inside. We're like driftwood. It's a negative bonus to security, but a bonus to social life. I feel like that was the wrong. Feel like that was the wrong answer. I do feel like that was the wrong answer. I am really not sure about this mayoral election, to be honest. I need the Social Democrats on my side. That's a good start. I need the Central Party on my side. That didn't help. I really don't know what to do with this one. I really don't. Making these demands is not helping. That's the thing. Making these demands is kind of just making everything worse. This funding change is not going to go through, which is probably fine. Let's see. The funding change. I mean, to be honest, I am just going to have to let this go. Unless I can swing that in my favor. But it seems like a really bad idea to try and use political favor at this point. But I'm going to try it. This will improve our health. Sure. As for the communists, this is... that did nothing. Damn it. Come on, who can I talk to about this? Christian Democrats. Don't forget to vote yes. This isn't going to go my way, is it? It's really close, but it's not going to go my way. Damn it. 3 votes, innit? I could overrule it, but that doesn't seem like a very good idea at all. 23 to 15 with 15 on the fence, or with 23 on the fence. I feel like I've sort of... Vote with me or you'll be very sorry. That's what we're going to say to them, and we'll see if it works. I might be able to claw this back from the brink right at the end, but my political standing is at -4. And it's vote time. 23 to 15. Threaten them. Just threaten them. Speak to the whole party. 21 to 17. Threaten them. 17 to 20. Swear to God, if I win this by going Frank Underwood again. Threaten them. I'm not a pleasant person. All right, I think I feel slightly more secure. Jesus. Okay. You know, I probably don't deserve to stick around after this, but it worked, so whatever. I mean, the vote was passed. I am still mayor. I am at -6 political standing with them. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Oh, boy, oh, boy. Okay. What can I even do at this point, man? There was a little bit of demand for commercial and industrial zoning there, but it seems to have gone away. I don't know. I honestly don't know what to do at this point, ladies and gents. There's some private matters. I'm gonna keep this in mind. It is a certain Central Party councillor, and my friend comments that is... What is this? He's being treated for an STD. I will keep that in mind. But I feel like blackmailing them at the moment is not a good idea. So, I mean, I guess we're gonna see what happens. Also interesting is that the lower class is very unhappy. Might be worth doing something about that. Generally speaking, security is pretty bad across the city. Would we have the money to do something about that? I really don't know. But yeah, ladies and gents, I think I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm not entirely sure what to do, to be honest, but I'll work it out. We've managed to get a few elections to go our way at the last minute, despite everyone hating us. So if I can get my political favor back up in the next 6 years, which is unlikely, then we'll continue to basically be Frank Underwood. But yeah, we're gonna see what happens. We're gonna have to play this very, very carefully, and I would really like to get my monthly budget up a little bit. I think what I might try and do just before we go is I might try and propose that tax increase again. Because if I can bring the taxes up to, say, 22 and 15, that gives us plus 44,000. The problem is, this isn't really something that people want right now. I was going to wrap this episode up, but I think I will try and push for the tax increase here. Because I think the city needs it, and I think that if we can make this go through, then we are slightly more secure in the amount of money that we actually have. So Let's see. It's sort of going to go either way here. They do not like me. The Central Party, I could backstab them a little bit. Doesn't seem like a good idea. I don't think any of these parties are actually going to listen to me, but I'll threaten them anyway. I'll threaten the whole party slightly. I mean, political standing can't really get worse. Hey, we're in Era 4. Horror after horror, the Second World War did not end in triumph, but another struggle called the Cold War. Split into two camps, the world was plunged in a constant threat of nuclear devastation. Oh, good lord. Aidan Kilgannon, Carla's nephew. Aidan grew up seeing how the world is improving, and he committed to change. However, he is... Oh, God, he doesn't... Oh, he's a hippie, isn't he? Worldwide brotherhood, man! Wait! I'm putting the player at odds with the state, man. Thus, the event structure will consist of, like, radical events which might end the game, but will boost student numbers and happiness. What? Okay. So, the Pacifist Party have been voted in. Thankfully, the Freedom Party have buggered off, as have the Progressives. A lot of things have been made obsolete there, which is fair enough. Traffic signs, compulsory smoke detectors. So, there are some demands from the people, which is probably fair enough. We are now losing money, though. So, the World War is over and peace returns again. You were selected to lead the rebuilding of dual Kilgannon in the first post-war mayoral election. I feel like I wasn't selected to lead the rebuilding of dual Kilgannon, but okay. Being heir to a family famous for civil rights, you bring hope to the people. What is the best remedy for hardship? I feel like music can be very good. Oh, we got pop music. Okay. Sure. So it just straight up gave me pop music. Oh, would you look at that? Sexual revolution. I feel like that would take a little while to do. Let's go back to Era 3, because we haven't really got much from this. Let's go for public health. Or, no, we're still researching the electrical grid, aren't we? Damn it, we are way behind the times. We need more schools. Unfortunately, we are losing a lot, well, we were losing a lot of money. Let's look at pop music. There is nothing new in the fact that grown-ups see the youth as degenerate, but this time the youth have gone too far. They are listening to an immoral cacophony they call music that could never compete with the quality of more classical music. The lyrics are filled with satanic whisperings and lewdness. I feel like we embrace the change. The elderly and the middle-aged may not like it, but they never will. As for modifying taxes, it looks like it's gonna go through, which is beautiful. So we are gonna have more money, which is what we want. So, now that the tax modification's gone through, we are making considerably more money than we once were. We have just got the electrical grid. But what I'd like to do is start researching public health, because we are way behind right now. It's 1948, and we are way behind. Electrical grid, let's see. Prepare to sell electricity to the rest of the country, which is gonna save us some money, I guess? Or join the network as soon as possible. Let's prepare to sell to the rest of the country. So it gives us 0.1... It gives us like 10... Is that 10% more income, I guess, from the electrical power plant? I guess? Okay, sure. That's fine. Slow the game down a little bit. We are making considerable cash. So there is general unhappiness across the city right now because we are not meeting most of their demands. The taxes probably don't help. But what I think I'd like to do is look at education as a way to solve that. And I know I said I was going to wrap things up after that vote, but I would really like to maybe actually go for a university as opposed to just a grammar school. Because we could afford one. It's $42,000 per month. It's 3 million up front, so no, we couldn't. Okay. Modify the district. Let's get a... I mean, a post office would be a good start, but it's too expensive. Workshop, no. Clinic, fire station, grammar school. A vocational school would be interesting as well. It is more expensive, though. But what's the difference? Education, I'm just going to go with the vocational one, I guess. No, that's too expensive. Grammar school it is. Let's throw a grammar school in there. Let's confirm and propose. And I could use me personal funds to do this, but I'll just do a quick vote. Propose that, run the simulation a little bit quicker, and hopefully we can get this grammar school through, because this is going to give us more brain power, which is important for research. So, modified district is going to be approved. That's what we want to see. Everyone's siding with it, including the pacifists. Exit that. Communist teacher. The school in Kilridge has a teacher who is a member of the Communist Party. When the predominantly moderates supporting parents heard about this, they demanded her resignation. The school's headmaster asked for my advice. I don't think we need to be prejudiced against someone for their political leanings, teacher or not, as long as they're teaching. I'm assuming that this is the way the game thinks, and I'm also slightly role-playing here, so bear with me. I'm assuming that they are teaching the correct curriculum, and their political leanings have nothing to do with the set education that they are to deliver to the students. I'm going to do nothing, because I don't think that's necessary to do anything. That has brought security for Kilridge down, apparently. Interesting. The moderates aren't happy about that. The communists are, and prestige in political capital needed in some actions has gone up by 1, apparently. Interesting that that's the way the game decided to interpret that. But fair enough. We do have a new school, though, which is beautiful stuff. We actually have a pretty good range on the thing there, which is nice. I could endorse it a little bit more, which I guess I will do, just to make sure it has the proper range on it there. And that'll hopefully just make things go a little bit quicker, although we might want to look into... does that actually give us more brain power? It should. Either way, we have a lot of work to do in the coming episodes. The party support in the city is not as bad as it once was. We do need to get city happiness back up, though. So, ladies and gents, I am going to leave it there for today. Thank you kind of for watching, and I guess I will see you next time. Bye-bye!